Rico, the opinionist. I want to make this really quickly about a topic that's been trending the last week or so as well. Teen takeovers. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. I'm almost there, y'all. Need a 1,500 more listening hours before I'm eligible to see if I can go, YouTube a mess with. Okay, let me say this about these teen takeovers. And I've been kind of studying and getting the information. Please pardon the wind. It's feel great out here and I'm loving it. I don't know if it's going to rain or not, but please hold on just for about 5 more minutes. I'll run home in the rain. I don't care. The thing is, um, I know the teen takeovers. It's just wild. Luckily, it's not happening in my hometown of Memphis. Luckily, it's not happening here in Dallas Fort Worth, but it's happening in Chicago and other places. So, and the focus is always on Chicago and it happening somewhere everywhere. And so let's go there. There's always something popping off in Chicago. Why is Chicago's what's that lab test rats for everything? Even when they used to do reports on crime and or do reports on mental health and anything on black people, it was always a lot of the research is based on the movement and behaviors of the citizens of Chicago. I guess Chicago is such a majority black city. Everything. Go read some of these books from our African centered scholars, and even read some of this research as relates to those sociological research, um, mental health, psychological, sociological, political. Just go back and read some of those old journals. Chicago is always mentioned. I always found that to be kind of odd. But so I saw in the news, and I saw some YouTube channels where there were young people in the courts, the city council of Chicago, talking about, why the so-called teen gatherings, the teen takeovers were happening. But let me go back a little bit. There was also a news story done, I think, right out of Chicago, a local news story done on the two young men who were the primary organizers of the teen takeovers. It was one little black male. It was two of them now. It's the craziest thing. One black male, young black man, and I don't think neither one was 21 years old. They're probably like between maybe 20 years old. One on was a little dude. His English was broke, not very articulate, but he shared why it was going on. And the other young man was some little extra skinny young man who had, I think, lavender, or his hair was low cut, but it was painted silver or blonde, and he was, oh yes, it's just for us to gather. I hope they don't tell you about it. Just a fruity pebble, little young man. And as I watched the news, I was like, okay, arrest them. They're the culprits. Get them. And they just let them just do the little interview, and I haven't heard anything about, because they're the ones who supposedly, allegedly, well, they admittedly said, yeah, we called people together, called all these teenagers, up to 500 teens, a lot of them, to have these gatherings and people them teen takeovers because of the behavior when they get together. It's some fighting that happens, looting, some breaking into stuff happens, all kinds of mess pops off. I said, well, damn. Um, and then you had the young people testify in the city council about what they need and why they were doing it, and how they don't have anything to do in Chicago, and they need extended hours or after hours, or what the hell does that mean for minors? And I'm trying to get that light out of your face. So I'm just listening, like someone said in the comments. Those three young people who were in that city council meeting, and they said, one of the comments read, "These are not the young people who participate in the takeovers. They're not. They were very articulate. They was reading very well from a script. They weren't." I said, okay, this smells kind of fishy. It smells like somebody trying to use the youth for a money grab. Then you have Brandon Johnson, who kind of pretty much just kind of glazes over it, kind of just looks over it. because he's in the process of trying to demand with attitude President Trump to give them $800 million under the guise of, well, give us the money that you cut from crime prevention. Y'all hear that? See, he's begging the president, the one he calls stupid and incompetent and F-top orange man. Now you want to beg him for more money. It's all look here, y'all. It's all a money grab because it's the same ignorant mayor, the same sorry bought off bootlick country ass mayor, Brandon Johnson, who spent $1.2 billion on illegal migrants and tried to give their school like neighborhood and took the school and made it into like apartment livings for illegal immigrants. Yeah, but he tried to first take their community center. There was enough people there to say, no, you can't take that. And they raised their voices and they showed them they weren't having that. But for the most part, you spend all that money and people telling y'all, damn, it only happens in black neighborhoods. Spent $1.2 billion for hotels, food. They had debit cards for $4,000 to $5,000, food stamps of $1,000. Just give it to them. And they redid, they was in hotels, nice hotels, just like they did in New York. And even the top-notch living there in Chicago in the faces of those black people who live there, who've been trying to demand resources. They told them, we don't have the budget. We'll have to wait till the next session and vote on it. Putting them off for years. And in 2 days, the immigrants were given debit cards filled with money and access to resources. You know what else they did? They even had job fairs strictly for immigrants. Nobody else was allowed to come. And so while he was doing all that, he's talking bad about the president, to the president, and to Holman, the czar, what's his name? Tom Holman was over ICE. And yeah, the deportations are Homeland Security. Now he's over. Yeah, I think he's over there. Tom Holman, y'all know who that is. They bucked him. Like, no, we're not going to agree with the federal order mandate. No. It's okay. Y'all talk all this shit now. You spent all the money up and you raised the people taxes in Chicago and you're going to use that Father Flanagan, a father of whatever that panel housing of Father Flagrant, that Caucasian is, to think he's so cool with the blacks because he's the fist bump with Minister Farrakhan. Father Flannel Shirt, whatever his name is. That mother lover. Send us the money, Donnie. Man, I tell you, so disrespectful. But anyway, he wants the president to send him $800 million more. You spent $1.2 billion on illegal immigrants. You got to be out your. And I hope the president remains firm on his hell. So you got the teens there saying they want more things to do. But I'll be damned, and some people telling us stories about hell. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's a lot of things that teenagers can do right now, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to cut yards. They don't want to go to the park, and just play game. A lot of them don't want to work. But I mean, what is that y'all want? Well, I'm gonna tell you what the teenagers want in Chicago and across this country. They want to act a goddamn fool. Not all, but too many. You know what I'm talking about. But they want the adults to pay for it. They don't want to be accountable for anything. They just want to be wild. What's a guy that rapper says, be young, wild, and free. They want everything free. Chicago has a host of amenities, a host of activities for them. But they don't like them because I guess they're too square. It doesn't involve music and messing your fingers up. Yeah, I said it. So they're using the youth there. These liberals are using the youth to try to get stronger money out of the federal government. No, because there's plenty of things for the youth to do. Interesting how these two little organized, a little fruity boy and a broken English black boy, they never organized teen takeovers of libraries, teen takeovers of job fairs, those who are 16, 17, 18. They never organized that. They organize for bullshit, for mayhem, and for acting silly. And they don't organize to say, hey, you know what? Let's all of us organize to create a business as teenagers. Like, let's go and get the main contracts of the of like cutting all the yards, landscaping across the city. No, they don't organize for stuff that really helps them and it's money in their pockets. They want to organize so they can sit around and do a bunch of dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Call me a hating ass older person, adult or whatever. Because I know I grew up in the 70s and 80s. And there were plenty of social programs, just like there are in Chicago. What it means is, what they're doing is telling on those bastards who run those nonprofits. So the teenagers saying there's nothing to do, then y'all get on TV, all you so-called or non-profit executive directors of nonprofits and all this, and those of you who work for the city, you're saying there are plenty of things to do. You name a whole list of stuff. So what is happening is either the teenagers say, I don't want to do that, or y'all are withholding and fattening your pockets and fattening your salaries. Because see, all you got to do is pay attention. Why would a city full of teenagers say there's nothing to do? Then they do some shit like, we need safe spaces. Well, every space is safe if you don't go in there and food. Every safe is space. Every space is safe. If you don't go there acting a fool. Did y'all know that? Then these safe spaces. You can go to the beach if you go there for swimming and just kind of chilling and being with your friends. But y'all don't. Y'all want to turn into something like a little one of them old wild ass rap clubs. You want to be buck wild. That's not required. You can go to the park. Excuse me. Teenagers in Chicago, y'all can go to the park and get a frisbee, baseball in the park. They got basketball goals. It's a lot of stuff. You just grab a blanket and take a lunch and have your little music. Well, of course, y'all want to play the worst music that was ever invented. You want to do your drill. You know, it's plenty of safe spaces. But the thing is, y'all don't want to behave in a safe manner. Not all, of course not, but too many. So I just think that y'all are being disingenuous. Because Chicago is a big city, beautiful city. Y'all can go to the Navy Pier and chill. You know, get a girlfriend. A lot of you, if those you 16, 18 years old, girlfriend and go shopping. Y'all go dress up and go hang out at the Navy Pier. Go get your little girlfriend and go to the movies and chill out at the end of the movie. Y'all pack a lunch. But I know I'm talking like making too much goddamn sense about behavior. But a lot of them, they're going to keep on pushing. Young people, they're looking to do. You know, a lot of jobs those in Chicago begging for a 16, 17-year-old to come make that little $14 an hour for the summer. Mm-mm. Now, for the young people there, they got a lot of sport. Those and it's not the 7, 8, and 9-year-olds. It's these little 15, 15, 16-year-olds. The 14-year-olds, there's stuff for y'all to do too, but you don't want to do that. How about some of y'all going to summer school and brush up on your reading? Take some classes in the summer. You can play and work at the same time in the summer. A lot of us did. But now it's different. I've never seen such an entitled generation of young people. So anyway, y'all do what y'all gonna do, but I'm just telling y'all, keep telling them it's plenty of stuff to do, but young people, y'all got to change y'all behavior. You know, goddamn. Y'all don't see if you can they have you're such a powerful group. Y'all can get on a text message or this guys they said put out a flyer. Y'all can bring about 500 teenagers. Imagine what y'all can be doing with that power. It's limitless. But instead, y'all listening to the vibrations of these low vibrated rappers and low vibrated R&B singers. So y'all acting off of that. Anyway, there's all other places y'all can do a teen takeover on. You know, job fairs. You know, you can do beaches, but chill. Get some swimming trunks. Yeah, when they say it's hot out, it's so hot outside. So, man, make sure you stay hydrated. Yeah, I will. Thank you. But not right now. It's not hot right now. Thank you. I keep me a bottle of water with me. Drink one in the house. Now, as I'm walking, I goes with one. So I'll do that. But yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. Y'all be cool with your man Rico. Y'all enjoy your evening and y'all be cool. Peace.